hit the go live again. All right, great. We're going to go live here on Instagram. Mm-hmm. 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 All right, come on, Instagram. There we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's that time. It's Saturday. It's time for your Saturday morning tap in. For those who are just joining us, welcome to your Saturday morning tap in. I am your host, Shamika Cotton. Saturday morning tap in is a place where we come together for uplifting conversations, and we do a little bit of journaling. But today, I have a very special treat for you. We have a special guest in the studio. So today's show is for you. If you have goals, but you haven't gotten clear on the vision, keyword vision, today's show is for you. If you have made a vision board before, but you didn't follow through. Is that you? If that's you, today's show is for you. Today's show is for you. If you are ready to stop dreaming and you're ready to start activating, somebody put in the chat, I am ready to start. All right. We are ready to start. So go ahead. Y'all know what to do. Put your intentions in the chat. Go ahead, get your journal, get you something to write with, because it is time to tap in. Let's go.
Don't never stop if you want to be on top. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, who's that? Okay, some more 2K3 tapping in on Instagrizzy. Yes. Yes, some more 2K3. Steven says, I'm ready to start. TikTok. Are y'all ready to start? Facebook. Are y'all ready to start? YouTube. Are y'all ready to start? Okay. Yes. All right. Hooked Up Entertainment. I see you. Multi-channel. I'm loving it. Yes. Okay, you just inboxed me. Okay, I have to check it out. Love it, love it, love it. Ashley Nicole, did I greet you yet? Good morning, my love. So glad to see you here. Good morning. If you are on TikTok, go ahead, share the live. Share the love, share the live. Yes, yes, yes. But today we are talking about vision boards. It's your intention. Yes. Okay. Some more 2K3 says his intention to be open to receiving tools today to take my vision from mind to tangibility. Some more 2K3. Type that intention over here on YouTube so I can put that up on the screen. I think the world needs to see that, because that is my intention for today too. Yes. All right. All right. All right. Where we at? Yes. Shayla Kate the Great. Shayla. I miss you. I miss you, Shayla. Okay, get it together, Shamika. Get it together. But I hope you're enjoying the first beginnings of spring. The first beginnings of spring is here in our New York area. All right, let's go ahead and get this show started today. It's time to get to the get to the show, get to the vision. The more 2K3 already said he's ready. If you are ready to tap in, if you are ready to activate your vision, go ahead and put that in the chat. Welcome to those who are just joining us. This is the Saturday morning tap in, where we come together for some uplifting conversations. We set some intentions, and then we do a little bit of journaling. Today is a very special show. I've got a special guest here, and we're going to be talking about vision boards, But let me tell you a little bit about my guest so I can go ahead and get her out here on this stage. Rev Cherie Thompson, our special guest today. She is a spiritual being. She is a mother. She is an ordained minister for over 10 years, as well as a certified life coach, which she's been doing for about 15 years as well. She's a dynamic, motivational speaker. And last but not least, she is the proud mother of a young adult. To me, she is one of my mastermind partners. Some of you may remember her as my co-host for the P Valley Conscious Conversations. But what you all may not know is that she is a vision doula. Stay tuned. I'll tell you the story. Recently, she founded her company called Good Things to Life, where she helps people plant good and grow great. She's my sister and my friend. And like I always say, my friends are dope. I bring to the stage, Reverie is in the building.
What's up, everybody? I'm so listen. You got to get you a friend like Shamika, because ain't nothing like hearing somebody talk about you. Like, oh, you think that of me? Okay, some of it was in my bio, but still. Good morning, good morning, good morning, wherever you are in the universe. So wonderful to be here, to be able to tap in. I love when I can tap in. I'm on the West Coast right now, so it's always a little earlier for us over here. But I love the opportunity. How you doing, Shamika?
I'm doing good. I totally forgot the time difference for you, but yeah, so you are up super early. So thank you so much for saying yes.
Oh, of course.
To coming on. Good morning. We got Dr. Kai in the building on Instagram. We got Brees in the building, y'all. We have a special treat for you today. So today, y'all, we are talking about vision boards, right? As I said, Rev Cherie is a vision doula. And we'll talk more about that later. But for those of you all tuning in right now, who has done a vision board before, right? Put it in the chat if you've done a vision board before. Put in the chat if you've never done a vision board before. But for those who have never done a vision board before, Reverie, what is a vision board?
So, what happens at the top of the year? People get together and they cut out pictures out of magazines and they put them together. And this is like what my life is. So you basically flip through magazines, see a picture that's cool, and you kind of paste it up on a paper. And this is what my life is going to be. And I'm telling you, I've seen some amazing vision boards that have come out of these parties, but it's not quite how I work with vision boards. What a vision board truly is a visual prayer. It's a sacred vision of your life, like that you capture. So if you can imagine that your deepest prayers, as you pray them, what happens after you get up and say amen, right? What happens? How do you stay in that prayer consciousness? And a vision board is your visual prayer. It gives you a way to say yes to it, to be able to see it and build relationship with it. So many of us don't experience the desires of our hearts because we don't have a relationship with our desire that makes it ours, that makes us one with it. And this is a tool. Hear me, it's a tool. It's not magic. It's not like you do this and my life is going to magically come together. It doesn't work that way. It gets you in alignment with your desire. And most of us are just not in alignment with our desire. We just want and wish.
Oh, such a good point. So this week we put out some questions. We put out some polls about what people think about vision boards, what has been their experience with vision boards. And so let's just take a look at what some of the people were saying and their answers about vision boards. I'm loving the hearts coming in over on TikTok. Where we are tapped
TikTok
everywhere. We are tapped in everywhere. All right. So one of the first questions that I asked everyone was, what do you struggle with when it comes to doing vision boards? And one of the prominent answers we got was making the time to do it. Making the time to do the vision boards. And feel free, you all go ahead and put in the chat. Let us know, what do you struggle with when it comes to doing vision boards? Rev, have you had that experience about struggling with vision boards, or any words of advice on why do people struggle with making the time to do their vision boards?
It's because they're doing it backwards. Like that's oftentimes we're image driven, and so we spend the bulk of our time and energy finding pictures. And so if I don't have magazines, and maybe I stop. If I don't have if I can't find a quite picture I want, I stop. Or if I'm trying to still figure out what I want, it's like we're just doing it backwards. There's no process for it. And so finishing it is like finishing an arts and craft project, right? And so how many undone arts and craft projects do you have? in your house, right? I am a person who has decided that she crochets, right? And I have tons of half finished hats and bags and good. It's just because I don't. They're crafts. They're for fun. And though you may have fun doing your vision board, it is, like I said, it's deeper than that, and it's really your it's showing your sincerity, it's showing your integrity, your authenticity about your desire, and so much so that I'm willing to get clear about it. Right? I want this is mine so much so that I can see it. Right? And that is so it's what motivates you. So I say first is that it's an arts and craft project to you. You're not finishing it. That's why you don't make time for it. That's why making time for it is if you knew what it could do, you would make time for it. And so that's it. I know other people like not just honestly not knowing what they really want. And so you're doing the process backwards because you don't know what you want first. So you're just looking through images. Like I've done it before. I'm not pointing the finger at anybody because I have done it before. I have some unfinished vision boards that are just sitting there, and I'll go back and say, I'm gonna finish that. Are you really?
But what makes a vision board finished though, when you think about it though, when you think about like, oh, it's undone. Like once you start putting the images on there, it's already kind of started. Is there maybe a thing where people are saying like, this is what finished looks like, but is a vision board ever really finished?
So I do think that you can get a board that is working, right? Like that is, so it's not so much finished, but that it's working. But unfinished looks like if you can't articulate the vision to me, right? If you're showing me a board and you're showing me and you can't articulate what this is, then it's unfinished. It's just you're starting, and it's good. It's good to have a start. But it can't be activated. It's like you got all the pieces there, but it's not the circuits aren't moving together yet. So it is unfinished. It's just that you aren't clear yet.
Right. So the clarity leads to the activation. And I've never really heard that talked about when it comes to vision boards. It's you have the vision, but then activating it. And it sounds like the clarity and the intentionality is a way to activate the vision.
It absolutely is. And there's so many things vying for our attention that we can actually fool ourselves into thinking that we're clear about what we desire just because we can say it. And if you're a foodie, right? I love to talk about food. If you're a foodie, I'm not a foodie, but I like food. And I say, describe to me your favorite meal. It's very likely that meal is going to hit you with all your senses, right? You may even feel yourself in a space where you eat it, if you cook it, or if you go to a restaurant, but you're going to describe to me that meal very, very clearly, probably how you like it prepared and everything. So you got a clear vision of your favorite meal, your vision for your life, your vision for whatever that intention is, has to be as clear. It's the way you get it, is that it's yours in your mind. So I know I can recreate that because there's a blueprint for it inside my soul. Does that make sense?
So for me, I'm a person that has like a whole lot of ideas. I feel like there's a lot of things that I want to do. So my challenge is usually simplifying and getting clear. Do you have any tips or advice on how do you get clear about your vision?
So there's the patient way, and then there's a quick way, right? So the patient way is to give yourself a time frame to say that I'm going to explore my vision, like how you approach relationships. So some of us dive into relationships and we fall in love real quick, right? It's like and then now I want to be in love. And some of us build and date over time. So you can go either way with building a relationship with your desire and getting clear and saying that I'm going to, one of the practices I gave during the Lenten experience, because I teach a daily devotional experience during Lent, and setting intention is the soul work every day, which is to write your intention and to sit with it and to adjust it. So the idea is that if I am engaging with the power and presence of God, like, this is a spiritual experience we're having together during Lent. If I'm engaging with the power and presence of God, and I'm praying and I'm sitting in meditation, so the communication between me and God is giving me something. And so I'm going to listen, and that might adjust my intention. I'm going, and that's a way of, so every day, think about doing that every day for 46 days, that you are building a relationship with your desire. So clarity will come because I keep showing up and I keep exploring it more and more. So you can do that in a daily thing, to say, like, listen, the time is going to move anyway. Like, are you going to build, or are you going to sit in a space of wanting, or are you going to get into the place of becoming one with it? So so getting clear is just spending time. And so one really simple thing to do is to take a journal, right? I keep a journal with me at all times. Take a journal or your notes app or whatever you have accessible to you, and just start to write about it every day. If every day you write it out and then you just write about it, just to see what comes up, you will begin to get more insight. That helps to get clarity. And what some of us will do is that we'll then go and talk to someone about it. So for me, I enjoy talking things out with people, but you can't talk things out with everybody. Everybody can't hold your vision at its beginning. It's kind of like your baby. It's not meant for exposure to the world. And so you got to be mindful of that. If you don't have a mastermind group, or if you don't have a trust circle that is at the level of awareness that you are, that are dreamers, that are ready to bring good things to life, then you might want to hold on to it and just use your journal as the space so that it can be strengthened in you before you give it to somebody else. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. You said some really powerful things in here. One of them that is standing out to me is, taking time to spend time with your vision, with your dream, with your goal by journaling. Saturday morning tap in, what we do is we journal. And I love the idea of just setting aside some time, maybe even just putting on a timer, right? Because sometimes it can feel overwhelming. Like, how long do I sit here and write? Just take 5 minutes a day and just write out what you see for today for your vision. But what that reminded me of is, like, get intimate with your vision, your dream, date your dream, spend some time with it.
I'm all about relationships. I mean, it's what in my coaching and my spiritual counseling, I'm working with people on relationship. So it's your relationship with God, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with others, and your relationship with your desires. Like that's all a relationship experience. And many of us want intimacy without building relationship, and we want that everywhere. We want not to have to build intimacy with God, but we want to have a deep inner knowing and awareness of God. We want to not have, intimacy with ourselves. We want to completely show up and be authentic, but we don't even know who we are authentically. So this is a pattern that we have just out of someone maybe not sharing it with us in a way that it clicked, right? I don't think that we're walking around just being ignorant for no reason. I think it's like, just living life. You're living life, and you don't get that there's a pattern to this thing, because we've all built intimate relationships, people that we know through and through and feel close to. But we may not know that there's a pattern we use to do that, so that I can replicate a pattern. So I teach principle because we can replicate principle. I don't get lucky. Things don't just pop out the blue. It is coming to me because I understand the working behind it. I'm working with principle, so that I don't have to feel like I'm subject to my experiences, but that I create them.
And when you say principle, I know what you mean, but some of our viewers may not be clear on what do you mean by principle. Can you tell us, what do you mean when you say you work with principle?
Right. So principle is like, I like to think about it like math, right? So we all work with principle. Everybody's doing it, whether you're doing it or not. You work with the principle that 1 + 1 = 2. That's a principle that you live on, right? And you've never moved through life and 1 + 1 = 5 and your life fell apart. It's like you might hit that. You might hit where you misunderstood the principle and your math is going to be off, right? So some of us don't understand the principle. And so our life is off because we haven't made an adjustment to the principle. So I know that I had to learn 1 + 1 = 2. I had to keep doing those standards. Remember back in the day, and I'm super young now. Now back in the day though, we had to do those sheets with all the addition problems and multiplication. You had to do to get through them. I don't know that I think of them as standards. Think of them as standards, but standards is when we had to write something, like you had to write, I will not talk in class, I had to do standards quite often, but the repetition was something that we had to learn so we can get it. So the repetition of principle, I'll give you one principle that we get wrong often is about the nature of God. And so we are subject to our understanding of this universal principle that God is the everywhere equally present spirit of absolute good. And if we believe that we are being punished because of something we did by God, so you can see we're gonna be subject to our misunderstanding of the principle. So let me, and stop me if this is not clarifying, if it's further complicating. But when I say I live according to principle, I'm saying I live according to a fundamental principle that I'm good through and through. Here's why. Because there's only one power and one presence in this universe, and that presence is good. It is absolute good. And I'm made in the image likeness of it, which means there can be nothing wrong with me, right? I'm good through and through. So I live according to that. And let me tell you where I don't measure up to that principle. When I'm criticizing myself, when I am taking when I define myself by my mistakes, when I forget who I am and I define myself by that gap. I don't know who I am, and then I acted like it, and now I believe I'm what I acted like, right? That's when I am not living according to principle. That's when I'm saying 1 + 1 = 7, all right? And so is my life over because of that? No. I need to go back and learn what the principle is again, and then readjust myself, realign. So, and it's very easy to do this. We're living life. There's so many things coming at us. And so the idea of having a vision board is to focus you on the truth about you, to focus you on the desire of your heart that you've said yes to, because it's not there by accident, to remind you of how important you are because you're designed uniquely to bring this good into expression.
Yeah, so getting clear on their identity with who they are, so that they can then start to access what is that vision that wants to come through them? What is that goal or that dream that wants to come through them? And I can see how if you are not thinking of yourself as good or worthy or enough, it can get in the way of how big you start to dream or what you think is even possible for you. So that's very, very powerful. And I think very, very important. Another thing that you touched on is this idea of also doing it with community, right? For me, a lot of times, in order for me to finish something, right? Because I'm on the neurospicy spectrum. I can be real spicy, okay? I'm a neurospicy baddie. Where are my neurospicy baddies, okay? And one thing that I need is community. Community is a way that I have found as my secret sauce to help me finish something, right? And that's why I think having, vision board parties where you come together and do it, I think that that's really powerful and helping people with getting it done, because that was another thing that people talked about in the poll this week is actually finishing it, getting it done.
Getting it done. Listen, we got to let ourselves off the hook. It's a lot of things competing for our attention. And shout out to, I'm streaming on my IG. So shout out to everybody who's showing up on the IG at Rev Cherie Speaks. What's up, friends? I see you, Erica. I see you, Victoria. I don't know if you're still up there. And Yuki, what's up, girl? But here's what it is. This is like I said, what's my problem? How come I got these dreams and I'm not doing anything about it? I'm just going through the motions of life. It's often because we just don't know how important we are. We don't know how important our dreams are to the harmony of the universe. Like, you're more important than you think. You're more important than you think. You're not some little blip in this big old realm and I'm nothing. You're not that. You're vitally important, and you have a unique skill set. You were designed uniquely to be able to bring the ideas, the imaginings into expression, and do that intentionally. And we're doing it all the time, but we're just not valuing the importance of it. To say that when I'm gossiping and tearing somebody down, right? Maybe they never hear these words, but I'm ripping them a new one, right? I'm bringing something into expression. I have this energy, and I'm taking all of the energy that I am, because I said there's a principle that I live by, that there's just one power and presence, and it's good, and it's good everywhere.
Mm.
And so if I'm taking that energy, that goodness, and I am transferring it into something that hurts other people, into something that is not seeing someone for who they truly are, as an energy bringer, as an energy transformer, it's happening to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down leveling my own importance, and that tips over into how I show up in my dreams, and how I show up and the way that what I think I have to offer to the world. That makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. A little story. I did a vision board exercise with Rev Cherie, probably about 3 years ago, actually. And we were doing Lent. It was during the Lenten season. And so we spent, 40 days setting intentions and getting clear. And I think it was maybe like for 1 week or so, you gave the assignment to make a vision board. And this
Mhm.
must have been probably 3 or 4 weeks in to Lent. And you said to keep it very simple, right? You gave I think you said it was like 3 areas or something like that. Do you recall what the exercise was and how you gave the assignment?
I don't remember yours specifically, because I do give a few different ways,
Ah,
but the
okay.
heart of it is that I try to say focus on one thing on your
Mm-hmm.
vision board, and maybe 3 to 5 images about that one thing. That's a very simple board.
Yes.
Powerful.
And so, like I said, I always need some help simplifying. Now, even the simplest task, I can still kind of be a little extra. Okay, a
It's
little
that
extra.
spicy. It's that spicy. That
That's
spicy come
spicy,
in.
man. The spicy coming up like sizzle, right? And so what I decided to do was I would focus on one aspect, but I would put different images on it for that one aspect. And one in particular was career. Now, mind you, I'm just finding images on my career board. I'm putting the people that I want to work with, very specific people. I put on there. There is this place that I wanted to go. I can't think of the name. It's the Museum for TV here in New York, right? So we're there on that stage. I'm with this person that I want to work with. The person I wanted to work with, and I'll just tell you guys now because I've already done that vision board. I've already activated it. I've already created another vision board. If it was on my vision board right now, I wouldn't tell you. I would keep it between myself and my sacred circle. But this one is just some years ago. So on that board was one of my favorite authors. Her name is Tananarive Due. She's an amazing writer, speculative fiction. She wrote this Immortal series, and it's one of the books is called My Soul to Keep, and I think it's like 3 or 4 books. Anyway, I was like, I want to work with her, put her on my board. And I really loved the board. I was excited while I was making the board, just like tickling myself while I was doing it. So anyway, Lenten season, wraps up. I made my vision board. Cut to, it's a year later. I kid you all not, a year later. And it's a Saturday. Okay. And I had a meeting during the day with my interns, right? We were having our final wrap up with I think it was the first cycle of interns for the internship program. And so after we wrapped up, I happened to go on Facebook and I see that Tananarive is saying that she's actually here in New York. And I'm thinking like, wow, I wonder, where she is, right? I wish I would have known sooner so I could get there. So I go and do a little research. This is happening within minutes. I go and do a little research. Come to find out, y'all, she is in Brooklyn. And I'm thinking like, I bet you she's, far away. Like there are some parts of Brooklyn that even though we're in the same borough, it could take you an hour to get to that other part of Brooklyn. Y'all, I kid you not. Why was she in walking distance from my house. How this woman showed up in walking distance at a college from my house. And I'm thinking, like, by the time I get there, the event's going to be over. No, it wasn't over. I got there in time to hear her speak and to get her to sign my book. That is why I call Rev Cherie the vision doula. I think
I
it was,
love it. I love
getting
it.
simple, but also getting specific, but also doing that work, the activations, the getting clear on who I am, the principles, right? And then Reb Cherie has this really amazing thing where she could do like a nice mental treatment that really helps get you in alignment and vibrational alignment to clear the clutter. But I kid you all not, about a year later, that happened.
Yeah. The timing is of no consequence, right? Like I think we get caught up in time, and
Mhm.
what's on your board is what's yours to bring into expression. So when you have a meeting, and when you see things come together, it builds a faith in the process. So that's why it's not just like do this and put your head down. It's to start to pay attention. And if your vision board is underneath your bed, right? If it is in the closet, if it's in the drawer, and so you're not working with it, one, you can miss that there are things that you said yes to, that there was an agreement and an alignment with, and it came into expression. You'll just think things just happened, and you won't know the power of you setting intention, the power of you getting clear. You will miss your own pattern that you've been playing out in your life. And once you got your pattern, then you can just repeat it. Random thing, this isn't completely related to vision, but one of the things I admired about Kevin Hart, it was I think Joe Rogan's, he did a podcast with Joe Rogan, and he was just talking about his process for at that point he was doing the Netflix specials, and that was like the end result. The thing you see, the big money thing would be the Netflix special. But he talked about how he would come up with some jokes, and he would go play a small room. Then he would refine his show, and he would take it to a bigger room. And then he would take from that bigger room, he would kind of start to pull together something mid-sized before he goes to an arena. He taped that arena, it get on Netflix. He go take a break, and then he would start that cycle all the way over. And it's just kind of like, this is, so I know that every other year I'm putting out a comedy special. Mm-hmm. So there is something about, he discovered a pattern that worked for him. And it allowed him to do the other things he was doing, because he was doing movies at the point, but it was a point when you were just seeing Kevin Hart in a lot of places at a lot of time, but he was working a process. Now you could have a process that works. I know a process that works for me. And I had to push play on that process, which is that I love the new year. I love setting new year intentions. I come out strong, but I start to peter, right? Regardless of what system I set up, I start to peter out a little bit, and then Lent starts. And Lent gives me that spiritual immersion time. I teach that experience. I go all in with it. I fast and feast, and that anchors me back in to get me through to another season. Like I know that I have to recharge in these seasons, and discovering that pattern of, I'm sitting up thinking, how come like I can't seem to focus? This year, I had no intent on teaching Lent, right? But I was feeling like there's something off right now with me. And finally listen clicked, and we ended up having an amazing experience. About 100 of us who were together, growing together, and it gave me a chance to get clear again. And the space, and why I love talking with you, why I was so excited to come on today, is because there's a next thing. Like, what happens after Lent? Let's just say what happens after the point when you're really focused, right? Mm-hmm. That point when you're going to the gym every day, and you are working out, and you're eating right, and then you get a little distant from when you first set out. You got into a routine, and something happens, and you're off, right? You travel, anything that takes you off your routine, and now you're like, how do you get back centered? So when it comes to your desires, life starts to happen, because you're trying to bring a new thing into a full world that you already inhabit. You're trying to bring a new thing into your completely full life. Even if that full life includes a lot of leisure time, a lot of wasted time, it's still full. It's full of something. There's no vacuum in the universe. Mm-hmm. And so you're saying, instead of watching TV, instead of scrolling on IG, instead of whatever your distraction is, I'm going to focus on my intention. That is forcing. That's a process to force this newness into your status quo.
Mhm.
And we're resistant to change that way, right? That we're
Yeah.
resistant to that. There takes a certain mindset. That's why I love New Year, because our minds open up to new. It's why
Mhm.
I love Lent, because people who enroll in the process with me, they're like, I want something new on the other side of this. I want to rise with Jesus, like it's like, why not? I want to
Mhm.
resurrect, right? I want to come out of the dead space of not being active in my own life, right? I'm ready to come and live again. And
Mhm.
so that collective, you talk about the community, that collective community to come in and say, we're going to move forward. We're going to go forward this way. It's why I create the courses that I create. It's why I like doing live cohorts. So this is, I have a vision board experience coming up because I like a live cohort where you get to work together and bounce off the energy of other people and be inspired by what people are doing. And sometimes it's like, I'm inspired by how serious people will take the work. And it's like, I want to take my work that seriously. They're doing what? Like I remember a time when I was teaching these Lenten experiences. I've been doing it for like 13 years now. And my son was younger. And so I would get up, they were 7 o'clock in the morning. And so I would get up, get myself ready,
Mhm.
get him ready. And then I would do the Lenten experience, be out 30, 45 minutes. And then and maybe 50, depending on when we started to really get cooking. Then I would finish getting him together to get him to school, to go to work. And I would do that every day. There were sometimes I was doing it 2 times a day, but every day. And how in the world did I do that? Like, how did I do that? It was
Mhm.
because I had a minister, my spiritual mother, Reverend Della Reese, was on the air at that point. No, she had been off the air, but she was on the air in like her 60s. And she filmed in Salt Lake City. She would fly to Salt Lake City on Sundays or Mondays, work on Touched by an Angel. She would fly back to LA and basically have her, she ran a church for 30 years, right? And then she would do whatever she had to do, the business of church. And she
Mhm.
would do that. She did that for 10 years and did movies and did commercials and had a husband and had grandchildren and had her life. And so I'm like, well, if she could do that, I can do that.
Mhm.
When you are in a powerful community and you have powerful examples of people where maybe some days you aren't firing on all cylinders, you see their energy and inspires and incites. And that's the power. That's the energy. I like to build those kind of communities. I'm shifting into my community building phase of life now. And it's been really, really enjoyable. It is. It's so good to see people remembering who they are and acting like it.
Mhm. And remembering who they are and acting like it. Rev, you are I'm you anointed. I'm using a real spiritual word, a real religious word. This woman right here, she is absolutely anointed in the space that she holds. She has Rev, okay, this is coming. You have an anointing for activating people. You know what I mean? And maybe it's been cultivated in all of your years of study and the work that you do spiritually and all of the years you've been doing Lent, where you have been holding a space for people, nurturing them, holding the truth about who people are, and holding the space for what is possible.
Mm.
Right. And I think that that is something that is very special and very unique to you. I remember in Lent this year, I feel like you would just do these spiritual mind treatments and prayers, and I'm telling you, I know you were just in spirit freestyling them, but so powerful, right? And I think that that is something that makes what you said. You have a course coming up for vision boards that makes this course, it makes what you do so special, and that really takes vision boards to another level for
Mm.
people who have tried to do vision boards before, right? And it says, oh, they don't really work, oh, it's just pictures, oh, I can't finish it. Sometimes you need to be in community, in a
Yeah.
space that is specially consecrated for
Mhm.
activating visions. specially consecrated for helping you to heal those areas in you that may be blocking your vision from coming through, or that may be blocking your vision from seeing who you really are and what is really possible. I
Yes,
think
yes.
I think you have an ability to be able to see the bigger picture and hold the space for people to dream bigger, right? That was kind of like your theme for this year. Big, big, big.
Big.
Think
Mm,
that everybody has a big vision or a big goal in them. But finding that right community, finding that right, what I like to call my vision doula to help you birth it, right? People, we have doulas in the natural realm to help mothers birth their children. And I think our dreams are very similar to that. We're birthing dreams, and you need someone to help you push that baby out, right? To help you while you're incubating the baby, right? While the baby's in there doing what babies do inside the belly, right? You need that doula that's going to help you throughout that journey. And Rev, I'm just saying that is how I see you, and that's why I'm so grateful to be in community with you. And so we've talked a lot about, I'm usually really career focused, but what are some other areas that people can put on their vision boards, right? Let's see. We asked this question here. If you could put one thing on your vision board today, what would it be? Right? I'm going to put career and business. We have love, lifestyle, family. What are other things that people can put on their vision board?
So anything that you desire can be a vision. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes we take ourselves way too seriously. And if you have a vision for traveling, like you want to travel and experience different parts of the U.S., different parts of the world, your vision board could be very much just your travel desires and what you want to experience on there. And so there is a process that I take people on so that you can understand intimately what your desire is, because your desire has a threefold nature, but anything can go under your health and wellness. So the one of the things I do is kind of I help you create a statement. So after you've decided what you want, because that's my way. I've taught this course in 12 weeks. I'm teaching it online. It's just 5, but people are like, when do I start cutting out pictures? And that's not even like till week 3 or 4, like where you actually begin to explore images. But first is getting clear about what it is. What is the desire? And so I work with this idea of a desire having a threefold nature, that just like we're spirit, soul, body, so is your desire. And so you have to understand what realm to work with first. And so the reason that many of us don't dream bigger is because we are dreaming from experience. We're dreaming from what's going on in our life, what the economy is doing, how many years of experience we have at something, or what I've been able to accomplish up until this point. So let me just do one that's fun, which is like, if you're dealing with wanting to feel good in your body, maybe you want to release excess weight, you want to be healthy and fit, right? And so you look and think about how much you weigh right now, how in shape are you right now? And it's like, well, let me say I want to be 20 pounds lighter than I am right now, or I want to be strong, a little stronger. And so your experience is where you begin to dream from. And that is nothing. Let me just say there's nothing wrong with any of this, right? But where that approach is limited is that it is limited by your experience. And oftentimes when we're working from experience, we're also working from our disappointment. We're also working from our pain. We're working from the mistakes we've made when we didn't show up in the past, the failures of how disciplined or undisciplined I was, all of that is in our experience. So if I realize that my desire for health in my body is a God idea, it's a spiritual idea, my health and my wellness, my body is this temple. And so if I start with possibility, what is the possibility of my healthiest self? If I begin there, because up there, I'm just dreaming. I'm just dreaming with it. I say it's like the 3 phases of H2O. This is just the steam. There's nothing formed yet. I'm just dreaming. And I want to run a marathon. Or I mean, it's just all the things. You don't have to sit and think about what it's going to feel like. Can I run for 4 hours straight? It's not about that. it's just like, what do you desire? Remember when we could just dream and you didn't know how things were going to happen? Like you have that still in you. But what happened is that we dreamed and then we started living life and we started having some successes and failures. And we wait a minute. I can't dream that big anymore. It's disappointing. So this is, I help you shake all of that, right? So that we can just get into the realm of possibility. What do you desire really with no limitations on it? What do you desire? Not what everybody's doing, not what your mama wants you to do, not what do you desire? And we start there. And then we get to now, what do I believe I can have? That's where belief comes in, because you can have a desire and not believe that you are worthy of it, that you are capable of it, that it's your time, that, like you can, or this, I'm going to ruin it. There's something in your belief system. So we work with what you believe. This is why our dreams don't come to life, is that we don't believe them. We don't believe that we can have them. And so they never hit our experience level. So a lot of us are trapped, right? Our dreams are trapped in that space of just this unbelief. We don't believe that we can do it. We don't believe we're worthy of it. Maybe we don't trust ourselves to actually be who we said we wanted to be. I don't trust myself for that. So that's why I started off this wonderful conversation talking about relationship, the relationship you have with God, the relationship you have with yourself. Right. And so this vision, I named it the vision board experience, but it's really activating your vision. And the board is a tool to activate it. A board is an anchor for it. But if you don't understand how desire works, so that you can see why I like to go back on things. Why isn't something working in my life? Right? Why isn't this working? Why am I not experiencing greater success and fulfillment in this area of my life? Why am I not dropping the weight? Why am I not able to work out and stay consistent in working out? Let me go back to what I think is possible. What do I believe about myself? And then what do I desire to experience? What are some of the pitfalls? What are some of the challenges I have in my experience? And because I got to get everything in alignment. But if I don't know where I'm out of alignment, I'm just living a rocky life, right? I don't know why. I don't know why things aren't working out for me. And we just veer off. Like if your wheels aren't in alignment, just keep veering off to the left, veering off to the right. But this helps us to get in alignment. So this process is one of the big activities in the Lenten experience. The vision board experience. There's a workbook that I give you to help you work through some of these things. And I really am, I don't know if we hit on this, but one of the things I think that is our huge pitfall and why we don't experience our desires is lack of focus. And so we so many things we're trying to do. We're trying to push so many boulders up the hill at the same time. And our progress is so minimal that we start to be what's the word? We start to not be motivated around it, start to get discouraged. Because we don't feel the results are matching the effort, but we may be doing too many things at one time. So this helps us to get focused in and get to get that clarity. So it's a powerful tool. Listen, I could talk all day about vision boards. It's a powerful, powerful tool.
Can we do there is we like to journal on Saturday Morning Tap, and I know that in your course there's a moment where we take to the page and get clear and start to work through the spirit, soul, and body of our desire. Is there something like that we could do? I remember there was one where it's like, okay, you may say your goal is to own a home, right? But what is the spirit and the soul of that, right? What is the spirit and the belief of that? Is there something that we can do on the page today just to give people a taste of what it's like to get clarity and focus in order to activate their vision?
Yeah. So this is the structure of that activity, right? So if you can and add this to the chat, if you're chatting along with us on any of the IG channels, any of the channels that we're on, right?
Yes.
We don't be shy. Put something that you like to share. What experience would you like to have? Like, what is your desire? What experience what do you want to do, be, or have? Right? That's your experience. What do you want to do, be, or have? And put that in the chat. And then we're going to back it all out. We're just going to do one real quick right here. Because you're not that deep. Just know you're not that deep, right? We think we're so deep. You're not that deep. We all want more love. We all want more money. We all want greater health, right? We all want to have more fun. Like, you're not deep. Pick what experience you want to have. I know that I desire to feel strong in my body, right? I want to feel good in my body. I want flexibility and strength. That's a high experience that I want to have. And that's there. That changed and evolved over years, but that's absolutely the experience I want to have now. Not
Go
trying
ahead
to
and put it in the
rewind.
chat, you guys.
It's not rewinding time. It's just, what do you want? What do you desire? What do you want to do, be, or have? That's your experience. We're going to start with the body. We're going to start with the body. I don't see. I need to see something popping up in the chat. Tell me what you guys want.
All right. Hey, Robin, I see you. I see you here on Instagram. We've got who we have? M Love 105. We got Precious Monet here. We got Hey Sue. Hey Sunshine. We got D Nice over on TikTok. What is something that you want to experience in your life? Feel free to put it in the chat. We're going to work through the anatomy of desire with your item. Now, I can always put mine in there, but I want to give you all a chance. I don't want to. Okay. Dr. Kai says stronger knees.
Okay. That's a great experience. I have one over here. It is better use of my time. I have yes to feeling vitality, strength, and ease in my body. Those are two experiences, right? Better use of my time, vitality, strength, and ease in my body. What was the other one that you mentioned?
So stronger knees.
Stronger knees. Stronger knees is very specific.
Two people said that, that joint mobility and flexibility. Let me tell you, stronger knees. We're walking further. Health.
Yeah.
Yes.
Strong. I see strong legs in here on from Facebook. These are good. So the question on the table is, what do you want to do, have, or be, right? We're talking about experience. If you can look at the screen, if you're seeing, we're talking about the anatomy of desire. What is our desire made of? What goes into it? So when we're shifting and we're creating new vision, when we're bringing new things into expression, there is a process that we follow. So first, it's just, what is it that I desire? And so some people, when I hear their desires, I can tell you where they are in the anatomy of it, right? So a lot of us are in the experience part, and that's good. There's no wrong place to start, right? So okay, but so I'm just looking to see if a couple more come in. All right, so we have the desire for better use of my time. We have a desire for better, and quite a few around health and well-being, about feeling stronger in the body. So the second thing you want to do is go to belief, right? So what do you believe is true about your time for better use of time? What's true about time for you? Is it enough? Is there enough time? Do I believe there's enough time? Do I believe that I'm short on time? Like, talk about, just think about what your energy is around time. What do you believe about time? Are you out of time? Have you wasted so much time that you don't feel useful anymore? All right. So time. So you get that. Now, what do I believe? Now we're getting to the space of belief. And mind you, I'm just scratching the surfaces. I'm throwing some things out there to ponder and consider. If I'm talking about my experience, I want to have is feeling vitality, strength, and ease in my body. If I'm talking about strong knees, right? What do I believe about my body? You might want to explore, for those of us who been on the planet for more than a few years. What do I believe about age? Like, how does that tie into this desire for vitality and strength in my body, for strong knees? What do I believe about that? I had when I was in my 20s, I was visiting LA, and I got hit by a car. Like, a lady was coming up to a stop sign and didn't stop. And it wasn't, she was going very slow, but it was enough to like make me stagger, not enough to make me fall down. And so though the people I was with are like, fall down, fall down, fall down. Like, I'm more like laughing because her face went white. It was just, and I'm like, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm good. I'm invincible. I'm good. And so as time progressed on, I had a tweak that I never got addressed. And so my belief about my knee was wrapped around not taking care of myself after that accident. And I was caught up in the shoulds of I should have taken care of my knee, and this is going to be a problem for the rest of my life. And I got caught up in that because I believed that I made a big mistake and I couldn't recoup from that mistake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Believe that. People I know talk about how their knees go bad and they're bad forever. All of that is in my belief system. And so as I began to work with the idea that there is only one power, one presence active in the universe, and that power is good, it's absolute good. And out of that comes life and health and vitality. And there is no permanent knee injury in the allness of God. So I'm made in the image likeness of God. There can be no permanent knee injury in me. All right, let me work with that idea. Let me work with that belief. Let me work with that. And let me say, what can I do? And one day, wasn't the same day. One day, it was strengthen the muscles around your knee. Strengthen your legs. And I started to do that. Now I didn't get immediate results from it, but I'll tell you that it's like it never happened now. That it's like it never happened. So I suffered for years until I made a shift in my beliefs. So I said that there's the anatomy of your belief, that there are three different phases of your belief, of your desire. Sorry, three different phases of your desire. There's the experience you want to have. You guys have shared about feeling good in your body. You shared about wanting better use of your time. There's Shamika talked about her career. There's a career goal she has. You can put that there. Your belief is this is thing. It cannot come into your expression. No, let me go back. Let me just give you another churchy thing. We say anointing and consecration. I'm going to say that I'm going to give you a scripture. It's done to you according to your belief. All right. So belief is key to this whole thing. What do you believe about it? And if your beliefs are based on your experience, I want to give you a clue that you need to flip it. Your beliefs need to be based on the possibility. It needs to be based on what is possible. Has anybody ever gotten over a knee injury? Right? Our knee is knee injury a permanent disability for life? So strong knees desire. The person who had the strong knees, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to work with that. You have to work with that. Like I have to really shift the way that I believe my knees work. The way that I believe that healing works. I got to shift what I think is possible for me. And it feels like, but everybody I know, because you're caught in experience. So if I keep going back to what I see, then I know that I'm going the wrong way. I got to go back up to possibility. Is it possible? What if I leaned into the possibility that I could have strong knees despite the fact that I'm in my 50s or 60s or 70s? What if I lean into the possibility that though I was in a car accident, that I can be completely feel good, pain-free in my body? Do I believe that even though I may have abused my health, meaning I never really valued my health and my well-being, and I've been inactive for years, that I can feel good in my body and feel strong and vital? Is that possible? And then I want to know, can it be possible for me? So the blocking you experiencing the desire of your heart is really wrapped up in two places, right? It's your belief, but it's also what you believe is possible. You see how that all works together? You get that in alignment. And now I can build intimacy with my desire. Now I can begin to say, I'm going to bring this out into expression. I can sing this song. I can do this dance. I can be strong and healthy. But there's an alignment that has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Victoria said, I believe my body has an innate ability to heal itself. I believe this time of perimenopause, say that, has gifts to impart, and I am learning daily how to interpret the signals. Hear what she is saying, because there is a word that's being spoken about women at the phase of menopause in their life and how devastating it's going to be on everything you know and love. She said, there's wisdom in this phase of my life, and I believe that my body heals itself.
Yes.
So that belief, right? And here, she may need to reinforce that belief daily, because daily there may be experiences. Y'all see how this all works? Experiences that are contrary to that. There may be conversations that are where we just lament and talk about all the things that are going wrong. So you have to make an agreement in your soul.
Mm-hmm.
And make the adjustments in your soul, in your mind. because that's how important you are. So you would think, my strong needs person, what does that have to do with everybody else? Baby, you strengthen them knees. And I see yesterday you were walking crazy and today you walking stronger. What do you think that taps into for me? That I'm walking around feeling better, looking better, exuding this power and this strength that reverberates around the entire world. I'm a force in the universe. So yeah, your healing matters to me. We just don't know how important we are. We are so
Mhm.
important, so vital
Mhm.
to the harmony of the universe.
Yeah. So like Rev says, she could go on and on about the deep work that is done with the vision boards. Put in the chat if you've already experienced something unlocking for you from today's conversation, right? Y'all thought we were just talking about vision boards and pictures. And what today's show is really about is that it is deeper than that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vision boards are a tool to help you unlock what is possible for you,
That
to
part.
help you unlock and birth your desires. Yes, Dr. Kai is like, this is so good. So good, right? And so yes, um if you want to keep this work going and you want to do more and you feel like this was only the tip of the iceberg, we're only scratching the surface, I want you all to know that Rev has a class that's going to be starting in the next couple of weeks if you want to continue to do this deep work. If you want to continue, right? We're just scratching the surface doing those three areas. But there is so much more that happens in this class. Can you tell us a little bit about the class, Rev?
Yeah. So it's conducted online. This is an online course, and it's a 5-week course. And the outcome is that you have a vision board. So I teach you a couple of different ways. You can do a digital vision board, which is pretty much the vision boards I do now are all digital. I don't print them anymore. I don't print them or not print them. I don't cut out things anymore. I do it completely digital, but there are you can do it according to how you want, but I give you some templates to work with. But that's your end product. Your end product is the clarity of your vision, the activation of it, because the vision is really the first step, right? Having the vision, capturing it. And then I teach you the practice to stay engaged with it, right? There's a spiritual practice that goes along with it. But during those 5 weeks, the bulk of it is around that belief part. It's getting clear about what the desire is and working with belief. Because if you don't deal with belief, you will undermine your desire. You'll undermine it. There's a reason you don't have it right now. It's because you don't believe you can have it. And that may seem hardcore, but it is what it is, right? The reason you're not experiencing the desire of your heart is because you don't believe you can have it. And the reason you don't believe you can have it could be because you don't think it's your time, because you don't think you're ready, because you don't think it's. I can go on and on, but it's your belief. So we help you get your beliefs in alignment to shine a light, because sometimes the beliefs that are undermining us aren't on the surface. We've never given voice to them. So I take you through some activities to help you give voice to that. The bigger thing is that I give you time to work on you, right? We carve out time. We come together to work on you. So there are 5 sessions. They take place on Saturdays. And the part that I've added in for this cohort, because I've done this a few times online. I've taught it in person many times. There were 12-week classes, but in person 5. I mean, online 5. And but I'm gonna do a open office hours, because one of the pieces of feedback I got is that, I love that I get to come together and I'm focused and I'm doing the activities during the workshop, but I still need, I'm not doing the soul work after. So I'm opening up just a window where I'm available, right? To be your accountability partner. We sit and online, and you can work on your board and ask questions, but it gives you kind of a time to come together and not be by yourself doing it. So that is one of the major changes. For those who've taken the program before, you'll see that that's different in this new version of it. But it is a really dynamic experience. It's tough, right? It's tough because you're going to deal with some of your tough stuff, right? And it's worth it though, because those things are there's a saying that you'll hear me say over and over again. Whatever the problem is, God is greater. Whatever the challenge is, God is greater. And so we're just going to tap into the possibility of God in you. And really live the life that we're designed to live. You're meant to bring good things to life. It's what you're uniquely designed for. And so we're going to remember that. I'm going to reinforce it and repeat it to death. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, Cherie, another time you'll be saying it to yourself. And then I'll smile, because I remember when my spiritual teachers would say things and finally I'm parroting back what they're saying. It took root. It took root in me, right? And so this is it. I am living proof that you can experience the life that you desire. You can untether yourself from circumstances you've been tied up into for years and years and years. There is no such thing as it's been too long, because today is the day. You can make new decision today that completely changes your life. And you don't have to do it in one big swoop. You can do it degree by degree, but for sure by degree, right? You can keep moving in the direction of your desire and watch it unfold in you and then into expression. So that's the bulk of the experience, right? Now we do some tactics. It's like a 200-page workbook. You're gonna go through some things. You're gonna have some work to do, and it's fun though. Like, I think it's when you dig into it, you're like, I discover something new about myself, because getting to know you is fun. You're awesome, right? You're gonna get to know yourself some more. You're gonna see how you tick and how you work. It's really, really insightful. When else have you paid this much attention to yourself and your dream? Think about your entire day. How much time does the desires of your heart get to just play in your mind? So we create that playground where it's a funky good time.
Yeah. And who knew vision boards could be so healing? You can heal your dream into expression,
that part,
right? With that work that you're going to be doing, right? Some people say, just finishing the vision board. Get in this class, you are finally going to finish the vision board. But at the same time, you're going to be doing that deeper work in you that allows your vision board to take root and to really activate. I've done the class. I love the class. I love the office hours. That's like a really beautiful bonus to the class. And
well, I mean, you're some inspiration behind that too, because that's what happens on the tap in, right? Where you get to stop. And I mean, I don't know if that's happening today, but I know that typically, we stop and work on your list, work on the things that you're interested in and your desires, and journal a little bit. Listen, it works. It really works to do that together.
Yes. I did want us to do the journaling work in between the 3 questions, but y'all get in the class so that you can really take time to do the writing, because there is some writing in there, and you'd be surprised at what comes out when Rev sets the timer for like 3 minutes. Just write the first thing that comes to your mind. What do you think is blocking you? What do you think the belief is? What are you reaching for? What do you really want? Just setting aside that time to really get to know yourself, to get to know your dream. Rev Cherie holds that space with such love and just such possibility and goodness. So I wanted to make sure that you all knew about this amazing tool. It's definitely in alignment with what we do here at Saturday Morning Tap In, where we set intentions. And so with that in mind, as we end today's show, feel free to scan the code on the screen, and you can get added to the wait list to sign up. Is that how it goes, Rev? If they go to that link up there, they can sign up, or what's happening?
So a couple of things. I hope you're following Shamika wherever she is, right? Because I have you getting on a wait list, because there is a just for being on her crew, being a part of her crew, I have a discount code for her. And I want to make sure that that you get that discount code. So it knocks $10 off of the course. And this course is really, really affordable. It's only $97. So if you come in on Shamika's link, it'll be $87. So I just want to make sure that we capture her crew, and you get an opportunity to do that. It is going to be the best money you spent in a long time. It's a perfect time of the year for it, where we get to say, wait a minute, I know I look up and it's like, what quarter is it? Okay, wait a minute, what did I say I was going to do this year? Like, I have to keep my intentions in front of me, because I'm now a caregiver for my mother. That wasn't on on my bingo card, they say, right? That wasn't on my bingo card, right? So now I got to look at how do I continue to say yes, God, to what's mine to bring into expression and manage my life, right? Your life is still happening. I'm not it'd be nice if we can pause life and just have our time apart and discover our dreams. But that's why she talks about that timer. I'm big on timers, because it doesn't take forever to do this exploration, to do this work. And so timers help me to remember that I always have time, because I can find 5 minutes anywhere. I can find 10 minutes anywhere. And it feels doable. I find that doable number, the amount of time, and that's what I set for myself. So this is one of the things I share that has worked.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Kai has already signed up.
Yay,
Yes,
yay.
I'm so excited for you, Dr. Kai. All right, Rev, if you could do me a favor, I would love for you to set the intention activation for today, just something to send us off in the energy that we've created today, whatever spirit moves you, but just to consecrate and wrap up today's show. I would love it if you could do us the honors for that.
Absolutely. So we talked about the anatomy of desire. I went through experience. What is it that you desire? What is it that you want to do, have, or be, right? And so we wrote that down. And then it was like, believe. What do you believe about it? Like, what's truly floating around in your mind in terms of possibility for you, right? And we explored that. So let's spend this quiet time, dwelling in the land of possibility. So when we talk about possibility, we want to get to the intangibles. So Shamika talked about a house, right? If having your own home is one of the desires of your heart, and you have cut out pictures out of magazine and all of that, and and what does that home represent for you is the question. That's the possibility of the home. For some people, a home is safety. And so truly what they desire is that power of God in the form of safety. Like that's what they are calling forward. For some, it's love, because there's a place for everybody to come together. And so dwelling in the land of possibility, I want you to explore the possibility that what's the spiritual idea behind your desire, behind what you want to do, be, or have. Because this really gets to the heart of what you're really pulling into expression. So if you think about the people who had the body desires, right? You want to feel good in your body. It's what is that idea that you are holding that's beyond the tangible. So that might look like energy, vitality, right? And so I want you to ponder that. That's what you're going to journal about, is the possibility of greater vitality. That's what I am opening myself up to, and just see what comes up as you explore that idea. If you are what do strong needs, what does strong needs really mean for me? It might mean the mobility to go and to do the things that are in my heart to do. It may give me, so I want to explore that. What is it that I'm really asking for? Because if God gives itself in the form that it is, then I really am truly seeking a spiritual idea. I'm seeking not a thing. I'm speaking into existence. I'm wanting to bring into existence a spiritual idea. And so we're talking about life and love and peace and joy and energy and excitement and fun. You're bringing in a spiritual idea. So that's just something to ponder. That's what you can do for this quiet time, and just sit and think about, what is that? What possibility of God am I saying yes to? All right. I'm saying yes to more life. That there is a life in me, that there is energy in me, that there is a dream in me, and I'm just calling forward more life. Maybe I'm feeling lethargic. Maybe I'm feeling like there's not enough. And so I'm tapping into the divine resource, that there is divine provision. I would not be given, listen, if I'm partnering with God, I would not be given a desire that did not have substance and supply for it. I'm equipped. And so I'm really holding for provision. If I'm looking for financial breakthrough, perhaps I'm tired of cycling in and out of not enoughness. And so I'm holding, what I really want, is it that I want $1 million, or do I want to feel supplied? So something to ponder. What is the spiritual possibility? What is the spiritual idea? What is the possibility of good? That's yours. It's what you're open to. What's the timer on this one?
We can set the timer we can do a quick, just like a 2-minute check-in. And then if you want to go ahead and then lead us in our closing um, activation, that's it. All right. The timer has begun.
I'm taking part in this with you all.
Hmm.
Mm.
Awesome. Nice.
That's a powerful 2 minutes.
It don't take much.
It really
When you
doesn't.
put
I
that
got
timer on, it really helps you just to say, just get it out in 2 minutes and let it be. You don't have time to judge it.
Nope, not at
Mhm.
all. Not at all. All
Yes.
right. So as we close out today, no matter when you came in at the right time,
Mhm.
because there is a good in you that is meant to come into expression. And so let's just relax ourselves into this creative space where we are open and available to the greater possibility of good in our life. I want you to see something better for yourself. This better relationship. Maybe there is just improvement in what you have. You want to up level what you're already experiencing. You want deeper relationships. You want to feel stronger. Just open yourself up to greater possibility. We align ourselves right now with the power and presence of God, the God of our understanding, that we understand God to be good on some level. Maybe you're working with God as good, but not always to me. Maybe you're working with God as good all the time, everywhere, in every way. But there's a goodness that is available in the form of love and power and life, vitality, substance, and wisdom. There is greater, a power that is greater than your self imposed limitations. We align ourselves with it, this goodness. And just take a breath. This one power and one presence dwells in us as us. And each breath brings us into oneness. There's a harmony and a rhythm and a oneness that is the essence of who you are. This goodness is the essence of who you are. You're greater than you think you are. You're more important than you believe you are. You're more vital than you've ever seen yourself as. Right now. And just take a breath. We're so grateful that this truth right now is traveling to those dark places in our souls where we have felt ourselves in lack and limitation, where we have felt ourselves to be not enough, to be unworthy. That the truth right now is crowding out that lie. And we emerge from this quiet space knowing I am worthy, knowing I am enough, knowing there is enough, knowing I am capable, and knowing I am ready. And with a spirit of expectation, with a spirit of receptivity, we open ourselves up right now to let it flow through, in us, to us, as us right now. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, God. We let it be. And so it is. Ashe. Amen.
Amen. Rev, thank you so, so much for tapping in with us this Saturday. Thank you for walking us through the anatomy of desire, getting us excited about our vision boards and about our vision. And I know for me, something new was awakened in me, and I wouldn't have thought something new could be awakened, but there's always room for
Yes.
new good in our lives. So thank you
Yes.
so much for your presence today.
Thank you.
All right, you all. The QR code is on the screen. Feel free to go ahead and capture that. Sign up for the class. If you're part of the Shamika Chronicles community, the Saturday Morning Tap-In community, we've got a discount for you. It's very affordable. Let me just tell you, okay? It's very affordable. Consider it an investment in your dream and your vision. For now, thank you all for tapping in. Go out there and expect the good. Why?
Yeah.
Because you deserve it. All right, you all. I'll see you all next Saturday for another Saturday morning tap in. Bye for now.
God bless.